Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. If you want to see this full face, go ahead and check out my previous video using all Almay products. Now, let's go ahead and wash this makeup off and put on a brand new face. You guys, I am so excited for this brand. Oh my goodness. Hi, hello, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been with us before, welcome back. If you don't know the drill, what we do on this channel is we take one brand at a time, and we test out that brand. So today's brand is Makeup Geek. I've got it all put out here in front of me. It's not a full face. We don't have a foundation or concealer or setting spray, lip liner, couple things missing here, but the concept of the brand is really cool and really fun, so I'm super duper excited to play with this. So let's just dive in. I pulled up their site to try and find an About Us, and I didn't find too much on their About Us section of their site. It does say that they're cruelty-free, I believe, and I think either all or some of their products are vegan products, so that is really, really nice. But other than that, I tried to dig around and I didn't really see too much like inspiration for the brand or what the brand strives to do. I would have to assume, based off the packaging here, well, they try to kind of keep the environment in mind, I would think, because when you order an eyeshadow palette, you get, I will show you here now, you get the magnetic palette, and then you get all of your individual shadows sent to you. So I think that is super duper cool. And of course on the on the site, you can also build custom palettes, which I think is really cool. So with the eyeshadows and then also the face powders as well, I got the separate magnetic compartments and then separately the products as well. So this is gonna take a little bit of time to assemble, so I'm going to do that here real quick off camera. But yeah, just very, very excited about this. So let's go ahead and get these put together. I guess I'll show off one of the shadows here. So it just kind of comes in its own little container. You just kind of slide it on out, and then you stick it in your palette. I don't know what my layout of my palette's gonna be here yet. I'm not gonna worry about it too much here. I think I'm just gonna stick them in. Okay, I've got that all put together here. Definitely looking like a lot less product in front of me here now. So they don't have a concealer, so we are gonna hop into the eyeshadow right away. So put together here, here's what my eyeshadow palette looks like. When they have it displayed on the site, they're more centered. I didn't realize that as I was applying them in, that there is extra space in the palette on the sides here. And I also did not put this at all in the order that they have it displayed. But the palette that I got was the For Blue Eyes. So here are the tones that they have for that palette combination. It comes with a 3 more like shimmer metallics shades. This one looks to be kind of more glittery, and these ones look to be kind of more metally, I would say, and then 6 matte shades. So let's go ahead and grab our M433 brush. Usually I like to have a concealer base when going in with eyeshadows, but that is okay. I'm going to start by dipping into the lightest shade here. I don't think they have shade names. That would be a lot to kind of keep track of, but this lightest matte shade here, I'm gonna start with that and apply this all over the lid. Okay, so that first shade is applied. I'm not seeing too much of it here. I wasn't expecting to, but I just wanted to lay something light down so that the other shadows could hopefully glide a little smoother over top of the bare lid. So next, I think I'm going to dip between this darkest brown shade here and this more orangey shade here and start building that up in the crease. Okay, and so far those two shades are blending really nicely together here on the lid. I'm loving the pigment here of those so far as well. I really like how those are blending out here on the eyes so far. Let's ready things up here a little bit. I'm gonna dip back and forth again. I'm gonna try to use as many shades as possible here. I'm gonna dip between these two more red shades, this deep one and this kind of more pinky red shade. Same brush, haven't cleaned it off at all. Dip back and forth between those and try to add this color here a little bit more on the outer part of the lid. And things are still blending out really, really nicely. I am just taking a clean, this is the Morphe M441 brush, just to slightly soften things up here as we go. But those more red shades are blending on really nicely as well. Let's go ahead. In attempts to use all of the colors here, I'm going to start with this center dark metallic shade. I'm just gonna use my finger for that guy. Let me swatch this on the back of my hand here for you, all three of these. So here's that center metallic shade. Ooh. Ooh. And then we've got the lighter metallic. Oh, it's so pretty. And then the more darker one, which I thought was glittery, but that's definitely just another deep copper metallic. Oh. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so excited. Ooh. Okay, cool. Let me use my finger, taking that middle metallic shade here. I'm going to apply that primarily all over. I'm going to focus it primarily all over, but mostly in the center because I am going to take the other shades. I'm going to try to make them all blend with each other. Next, continuing with the finger here, I'm going to take that darkest one and focus that more on the outer part of the lid. And now taking that lightest one here, again using our finger and blending this into the inner. Okay, those metallics are so nice. The mattes are really nice as well, but I am so happy with those metallics. Wow. And I wasn't sure, like when I saw these colors and they said not for blondes, for blue, I was like, I wasn't sure like the reds and stuff, how that would look. But I understand the coppers. Like the copper tones look really pretty with the blue eyes. Ooh, I'm loving this. That came together really, really quickly, which I never mind. I like putting together pretty quick looks here, but I am loving those metallics. So now we will do eyeliner. They do not have liquid liners, but I did get a pencil liner here. So I got it's just kind of their Makeup Geek. It's a retractable eyeliner, and I decided to get their shade navy blue. I kind of wanted to stick to that blue eyes thing, and hopefully a navy blue would kind of also help intensify or bring attention to the blue eyes here. So I got this guy. It says it applies effortlessly. It applies words are tough today. Applies effortlessly. Smooth application. You can blend it to be nice and smoky, high pigmented, and waterproof. Okay. I did just realize I didn't use the darkest shade in there. I was going to do kind of like a shadow liner, but I got so distracted by the metallics that I totally went past that. That is okay. Maybe we'll use it on the lower lash line. We are going to apply the navy eyeliner. So there is that eyeliner applied. You can barely tell that it is a navy eyeliner, but I think that's something I like about it, where it just sort of helps hint and bring that blue into the look. I definitely can smoke out, I would say. It was tricky to apply over top of the metallic shadows on the lid here, so I did have to kind of go back and forth a couple of times just to get the liner to show up. And then I did take a little bit of it here and brought it just ever slightly down onto the lower lash line here so far to see how that'll sit in that waterline there. Here is it swatched on the back of my hand here. I do really like the color, and I think it's looking pretty nice here so far. So next we will curl our lashes here, and then we will introduce the mascara. Alrighty, so the mascara is the Extension Effects Mascara. It says here on the site, this is a rich black mascara. Define, volume, and lengthens lashes. 24-hour long-lasting formula. Perfect for adding volume, definition, and length. Formulated to make your lashes look like extensions without the upkeep. Okay, we like hearing that. Let's go ahead and apply this to the upper lashes. And here is what the wand looks like. I do like this size of wand. It has maybe ever so slightly, kind of like a peanut or hourglass shape to it. So there is one lash done here so far. The formula is nice here. They claim to be lash extension effect. I'm not feeling that. I'm not quite getting that. My teeny tiny baby lashes want a little more oomph, and they're not really getting that. I'm gonna try to build it up a little bit more here, and then we will also apply to the other eye as well. Okay, I think that's as built up as the mascara is going to get. It is pretty. It is really pretty. I'm loving the volume and the darkness and chunkiness of the mascara. Again, it's just not quite giving me as much lift or length as I'd like. They might be a little bit more length, but they're not staying sat up. So that is a little bit of a bummer here. I got a little bit of mascara there. Let's see if we can buff that off very quickly without smudging anything. Very nice. Okay. I am really loving how the eyes are looking here so far, but let's go on to the face. We don't have a foundation or a concealer or anything, but we do have a Skin Brilliance Face Elixir. So let's figure out what this is all about. So it says here it is a water-based formula. It has a sheer pink formula that's good for all skin tones. Should melt perfectly into the skin for a natural luminous effect. Reflective pearls give the skin a flawless luminous effect. And it is a vegan formula. Okay. So should make our face look nice and loomy. Alright, I want to drop a little bit of this on the back of my hand just to see what we're working with. Nice little pink drop there. Starts out, of course, very dewy. No scent really to it, which is nice. No like slick, they say it's water-based, so it doesn't feel oily, which is very good. And it starts to dry down fairly quick, but it still keeps a nice little shine there on the face. Okay, alrighty, let's go ahead and drop a little bit of this on our hands and apply this all over the face. It's very liquidy. Okay, we've got that facial elixir on here. It's a very interesting product. I would describe it kind of more skincare-y maybe. It's very watery, very thin. It does feel slightly tacky here on the face. It feels very hydrating, of course, when you're first applying it. And it leaves just the slightest, not over top, just a slight amount of sheen to the face. And I do think you can see that pinkness on there as well. It's probably not picking up the best here with my lights and on camera. But a little bit of a pinkiness is showing on there, and a little bit of a sheen is on the face here. It doesn't really do much else aside from that. I would have hoped maybe a little bit more glow came from it, or maybe some other like properties of smoothing or blurring and things like that. But it feels nice here on the face. It felt really nice applying it, slightly cooling, being that, like, I don't think it's intended to be cooling, but with it being kind of a thin, watery formula, and being in a cold room here, it felt very cooling on the face, which was really nice. So I do like that. Let's go ahead now and go into the brows. We have a brow duo. Oh, and it looks like they might be discontinuing these. So we'll mention them. They might be changing things around with this. Interesting. What shade do I have? Blonde. So in the duo, they give you a pencil, which you would have to sharpen, and they also give you a retractable pencil, which is a different kind of duo than I've ever seen before. We don't have a spoolie or anything like that, but just two different pencil type products. It says it's great for creating the perfect arch, precise, sharp shades, shady brows. Use a light hand for a more natural brow, or heavier hand for an Instagram-ready brow. Says it's highly pigmented, perfect for lining and creating hair-like strokes. Oh, I see, the brow liner, so that's like the retractable one. Great for hair-like strokes. The pencil, good for lining and filling. Soft and blended look. Okay, interesting. We'll use them both. Again, a duo like this is very interesting to me. So I'm going to grab a spoolie, and we will start with the regular pencil. So here is just the regular pencil so far. It's got that, I described it in my previous video here. It's not waxy, it's a very dry kind of powdery formula. And I mean, barely even touching, you get some good payoff. And something that I really like about a formula like this is when you go over it with your spoolie, it softens up really nicely. So if you're somebody who's like me, who struggles when it comes to the brows, sometimes I get a little crazy here in the front. It doesn't always work out the way I want to. And you can just kind of take a spoolie and just very gently go over it, and it softens it up in the nicest way. So liking that so far. Okay, there is that pencil so far. I think this is a very good blonde match. A very natural blonde match, I would say. I think that's a good, they kind of explain that they describe that very well on the site here. So I'm actually very happy with this first product. Let's grab the retractable pencil here now and try to create those more hair-like strokes. Alrighty, I'm not really getting much payoff from this product. Not sure if you can see there, but it doesn't swatch very well. Not very much pigment with this. I mean, I'll try to apply it here, but I don't think it's gonna look much different. All right, the brows are done. Yeah, they're not looking too much different from that second product, but I'm still really liking how they're looking, which is very nice. Let's actually quickly finish up the lower lash line. So I'm going to grab this palette here again, and I'm going to grab our M433 brush here and dip into this more orange shade here first. Pinch our brush and apply that all along the lower lash line. Okay, and then we will take a little bit of this shade right here, just start to slightly darken it up near the outer lower lash. And then a little further back, we are going to use that darkest shade, dip in there, and apply that a little further back. And then we will take, this is the ColourPop E20 brush. I'm going to dip into that lightest shade there. And we're going to intensify again this inner upper third, and then apply a little bit of this to the lower third as well. Alrighty, and we will grab that mascara here again and apply that to the lower lashes. The eyes are complete. I am loving how these eyes are looking here so far. That is amazing. Alrighty, so let's move on to the rest of the face products here. Let's start with bronzer. Okay, so for bronzer, they have 4 shades. You can buy like a palette this size and get all 4 of them, but I decided to do an individual, and I believe the shade that I got was Tawny. And this one is a warm medium brown bronzer, perfect for medium skin tones. So again, I don't know if this one's Tawny. They don't really, when they're individually packed, show, but the formula should be easy to blend, buttery velvet formula, natural, not muddy finish, free of mineral oils, parabens, and talc. Okay, very cool. So let's open this guy up. And I'm going to use a Sonia big brush here. I don't want it to be too sculpty, especially because we don't have much on our face. Just try to add some nice warmth to the face here. Okay, the bronzer is applied. On camera here, it doesn't look that bad. In person, it was a little intimidating at first. I don't know if this is quite the right shade for me, but that could all vary too if I actually had a foundation on. That could make such a difference. So it was a little bit startling at first. Yeah, it looks a little more intense in person than on camera, so I don't fully know what to think about it here yet. Hopefully with some other products, maybe that'll change. So that is the bronzer. Let's grab the blush here now. Alrighty, they've got a couple more options for blushes. I have to think that the color I have here is Covet. It actually might be Chivalry, I think is the one that I got. Maybe it's Covet. I don't know. It might be Covet. It is so hard to tell. Maybe it says on the bottom. I don't think I'll be able to get that out very easily. It's either Covet or Chivalry. One of those. But this formula, from soft to subtle to bright and bold, blends effortlessly into the skin, adding the perfect dose of radiance to your cheeks. Finely milled powder, guaranteed for smooth, buttery feel, flawless application, rich pigment, buildable, long-lasting color, 1% pearl, keeps it from being muddy when applied. Okay. Easy to blend, rich pigment. Easy to blend, rich pigment, free from mineral oils, parabens, and talc. Okay, let's grab, I'm gonna use one of these brushes this time. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. Dip into this. This looks like it's gonna be pigmented. Apply this on the cheeks. Ooh, baby. Maybe this is not a good brush, but that's okay. That is a pigmented blush. It doesn't show, I don't think, as pigmented on camera as it does here in person, but it is pigmented. And this reddish, this reddy kind of blush, I really like how it's looking with the eyes. This is a really, really pretty color. Really, really pigmented. I think, again, similar to the bronzer, the fact that we don't have like a foundation or something on might be throwing me off just a little bit. And it's looking pretty good here on camera. In person, it's looking pretty intense. Something that I do think I'm starting to see more is as this elixir has been sitting, I'm seeing more and more of that pinky lume shine through, and even like coming through the blush as well, where we're getting a little bit of a highlight from that elixir, and like very shiny right here from the elixir. So that's very, very interesting. Starting to see it more and more. But we do have a highlighter, so we are gonna intensify the luminosity. Okay, so they also have a couple of highlighters. I believe I got the highlighter GLITZ. This guy right here. This is an icy pink highlighter for porcelain skin. I think I fall in that porcelain category. Super smooth, incredibly pigmented, provides reflective luminosity ranging from subtle to extreme. Okay. They claim that it could be very blinding. All right. Easy to blend, buttery velvet formula, free of mineral oils, parabens, talc. It can be used on the face and the body. Okay. Let's grab a fan brush. Let's start with a fan brush and see how intense it gets from that. We can always grab a more precise brush if we want to go even more crazy. Okay, I think we're going to stick with the fan brush. I definitely think we could take this and make it so much more intense, but also with that elixir underneath, I definitely think this is loomy enough. This is really, really pretty. I like how it's sitting on the face here. We are on to the last product. Now, they do not have lip liners or setting sprays or anything like that, so the last product is going to be a lip product. I believe they are called like a healing lip glaze, and I got two colors. I got their pink bubbly shade and creamsicle delight. So our healing lip glazes are fantastic formula that will leave your lips feeling fun, flirty, and refreshed, leaving you with a hydrated pout, easy to glide on, hydrating, long-lasting, blends of shea and kokum butter. Okay, good for hydrating the lips, plant-based. There is a Biden's Pioza that helps protect and heal the lips, provides high shine effect without the sticky texture. Okay, very cool. What do we want to do? I think we want to go nude. We're going to go with the nude shade, the Creamsicle Delight. Okay, so opening it up here. Oof. Oh, it's got a slightly different applicator. This doe foot has a, I hope you can see this, slight little curve on the one side. Nice for hugging the lips. And this does have, I think, like a chocolatey smell, which is very nice. Oh boy, ooh, that gloss is applied. That looks very, very juicy. It just gives just a little bit of pigment with it. Not too heavy feeling. You can definitely feel it there, but it's not heavy or sticky or anything like that. Feels like it's not gonna slip or slide around. I think it's hard to tell. There might be a tiny bit of like a tingling sensation to it. I don't know if this is intended to be plumping, or maybe there's just something in there, or maybe it's just my lips, where I can feel it a little bit, very, very, very slightly. But I love how juicy this looks. I love just the little slight pigment that it is giving the lips. This feels really, really nice. And that is our full face. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Even though we don't have foundation, that's one of the biggest things, there are a lot of things about this face that I am really, really happy about. So let's get into that. So this full face cost us $135.83. Now, to some extent, with there not being a foundation and not being like a setting spray or a lip liner, that sometimes can be a really tough price to see. But with the performance of those eyeshadows and the pigmentation of like the highlighter and the blush and how the lips look and feel, I'm okay. I'm okay with that price point. There are definitely products sitting here that I would definitely repurchase in that price range for sure. So I'm okay with that price point. Now let's quickly go through the individual products. We went ahead and we started with the eyeshadow. First off, with the eyeshadows and the other face powders, I just like the whole concept of being able to put your palette together. I might need to sit back and rearrange this one in a way that I see will work best for me. I mean, I'm not too worried about that, but I do think that's a fun little concept of being able to rearrange your eyeshadows in whatever preference you feel. And it is also kind of nice that there's a little bit of space here on the side. I don't think I have anything else that's magnetic at the moment that could go in there, but if you needed to, I guess I've got tweezers. Yeah, you could put like a tweezers or something in there. That's kind of cool. So there's a little bit of space left in the palette if you wanted to, so that's really nice. But anyways, this palette is for sure a yes. Those metallics sold me for sure, and the mattes are also super duper nice. I am very curious to see if I can either create, or maybe they have a pre-made of just the metallics, because I'm very interested. So yes on that guy. Then we went into the eyeliner. This guy is a yes. I don't use a lot of pencil liners anymore here, but I do like having a dark nude like this. I have a couple of other blues that I have, and I think this might end up replacing these because I think this is just a better blue navy kind of match for what I'm looking for. I do like how it's tying with the 4 blue shadows, and I think it's helping with my blue in my eyes. What do you think? I don't know. So I'm really happy with the performance of this. It did struggle a little bit to go over some of the metallics, but I was okay with that. And I like how it is contributing to the eye look. So yes to that guy. And then we did the mascara. This is gonna be a yes for now. I like the formula of it. I like the volume of it. I just wish there was a little more length. I believe the site said lash extension effect, and I'm not getting that. So I do want to try it out a couple more times here. Maybe the eyeliner is just a little too thick for it with my teeny tiny baby lashes. So we are going to hold on to it, see where it sits in the collection, because there are definitely things about it that I do like. Then we did the brow duo. Now this is sold as a duo. You cannot get the 2 pieces separately. However, I am going to say yes to the sharpening pencil, this guy right here. I loved the formula of this. I loved the easy application, but also the easy fix-ups as well with it. So the first pencil is a yes. However, the retractable, nah, not this guy. It did nothing. It didn't do anything for the brows. So this guy is a no. Then we went into our Elixir, which we might have done this first, but this Elixir, I kind of went back and forth. I was like, first when I was applying, I'm like, ooh, this is really nice. I think this could be like a first skincare-y kind of feel product to apply to the face. And then after I had it on, I was like, I'm not really seeing much from it. But then as we continue to do the makeup, you can definitely see it here on the face. I think maybe it just needs a little bit of time to shine. With no foundation on, I think it is a bit much shine, but I am curious to see how this would look underneath the foundation and how that glow would come through. I think that could be really nice if it works out. So this is going to be a yes for now. And then we did our bronzer. This is also a yes for now. I'll have to try it with a foundation just to see if it is a good shade, because definitely on bare skin it felt a little intense, maybe not quite the right shade, but I do want to test it with the foundation and see from there. The formula is very pigmented. Just something to keep in mind, but this is a yes for now. Blush, yes. Pigmented blush, but yes, I love this red color. And I think it looks really pretty with the eyes, so definitely a yes. And the highlighter, also a yes. Man, yes. Loving the highlighter. I think this looks really, really pretty on the cheeks. I did it a little bit more soft with a fan brush, but I think it's cool that if we used a more dense brush, we could maybe intensify that highlighter a bit. Beautiful, yes. And the last product, which is the lips. This is also a yes. I am loving how this is feeling on the lips. I love the juiciness. It's staying in place really, really well. So yes to this as well. So to some extent, we said yes to every single product, just kind of a half yes to the brow situation. But everything else is so nice, and I am so happy with the products that we used today and the performance of the majority of the products. I think things are looking really, really nice here on the face. Very, very happy. Let me know if you guys have any other brands that you would like to see made into a brand new face video. Leave those in the comments down below, and I would love to add them to the list of so many brands. And that is going to be everything for this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And if you want to be notified of the next time I post, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified. And that is going to be everything. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.